Y Services lease of the former Hill Park Clinic. Councillor Burkett has asked if he can address us on this one, so if you'd like to come forward and sit there, and Councillor Ms Bell will introduce the item, and then I'll bring you in to make reference.
Thank you, Chairman. This report sets out a proposal to lease for a period of 10 years the old Hill Park Clinic building at Frostbowl Close to Y Services for the use of a community scrap store and training facility for young people. Y Services is a very active youth work charity who provide many projects throughout Fareham and Gosport and are very proactive in obtaining funding for the delivery of youth activities, especially going forward as Hampshire County Council will be withdrawing their funding in 2017 for open access youth facilities. The project is outlined on page 15, and the 10-year lease allows Y Services to bid for grant funding to carry out the works that will be needed to bring the building up to a usable condition. I can confirm that the bid to Veolia has not been successful, and Y Services have further bid requests in with Morrison's and Awards for All, and they will be making a funding bid request to BIFA. The lease arrangements are set out on page 15 and 16, and I would highlight that the Borough Council has no financial liability for internal or external improvements. Paragraph 16 confirms that there is no allocated parking provided for the building, and the 2 spaces at the front of the building have been investigated, and flat 82 has rights to use all paths and roads in Frostbowl Close, and this includes the parking spaces in front of the building. The rights are on a first-come, first-served basis and does not preclude other users being able to use the spaces. We can therefore grant similar rights to Y Services to use the 2 spaces adjacent to the clinic. I should point out the risk assessments are set out on page 16, but bring to members' attention that these proposals bring a boarded up, unused building back into the use for the benefit of young people in Fareham. I would therefore ask members to support the recommendations on page 13. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor Burkett.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm the new councillor for Fareham North West, and as Frostbowl Clinic falls within my area, I just wanted to come in and say a few words about my support for it. Y Services have provided over the years an excellent and extremely worthwhile support structure to the youth element of both Fareham and Gosport areas, and they've highlighted Fareham North West as an area of identified my ward, Fareham North West, as a priority area due to the local youth challenges and pressures experienced within that area. The executive briefing paper outlines the opportunities Y Services would like to explore, as described by Councillor Bell, of taking on the lease of the former Frostbowl Crescent Clinic for a period of 10 years. This would provide a use for an otherwise vacant premises and at the same time supporting a very worthwhile and local charity. Having visited the area, you can see that already it's starting to show signs of wear and tear. So for somebody to come in and affect those changes would be very worthwhile, not just to Y Services but to the general appearance of the area. As noticed, and as Councillor Bell highlighted, there is no allocated parking for the former Frostbowl Clinic, and on my campaigns in the Frostbowl area, parking was highlighted within that area as being an issue. However, I believe that the work that Y Services do and the changes that they will affect to the building should outweigh any concerns about the parking, and as it's on a first-come, first-served basis, I would hope that there'll be no objections to that, especially from the residents, and I would wholeheartedly work with Y Services to affect any complaints that did come forward. So, as I've said right at the beginning, as a ward councillor, I would very much look forward to working and supporting Y Service in this venture, and I would like to thank the Chairman and the committee for allowing me to speak.
Thank you very much indeed, Councillor Burkett. I think it is a fantastic proposal. Ever since the NHS vacated that building, we've been struggling very hard to find some use to which we can put it. I think Y Services coming along and provide some excellent facilities in most of our youth facilities across the borough. I'd certainly be very happy to support what they want to achieve there. And of course, a good thing that it's at minimal or no risk to this council. The responsibilities and liabilities will be taken on by them, and hopefully they'll have a real success there. And they certainly do have an uncanny way of being able to raise funding for organisations, so we hope they're successful with the ones that were mentioned. Councillor Cartwright, and then Councillor Mrs Landry.
Thank you, Chairman. Yes, I'm very happy to support this proposal. I think Y Services do a very good job. I was a little worried about the fact that they're having trouble sort of trying to get all their funding together, and I suppose in the back of my mind that's a bit of a worry. And I think, as you made the point, if that does happen, the building returns to us anyway. I guess the other thing they need to be careful of is that I know they've got quite a number of volunteers who want to do work on it. Well, they need to be qualified in some respects too, I think. So I think we just need to be careful, but I don't think there's any risk to us at the end of the day. So very happy to support the recommendation.
Okay.
Is work very closely with us at Crofton Youth Project. They're very good. The children sort of like them and interact with them a lot, whereas before when we used to do it, it's just sort of a case of calm, do what you like and go, but they do actually work very, very closely with the children. As for the money, well, I do agree with Councillor Cartwright, but they have workers that go out and are employed, so they are having funds coming in, so if they need any more, I'm sure they can up their game a bit. Thank you.
Anybody else? Councillor Harper.
I fully support this proposal. However, I did have concerns, one about the parking and two about the funds, a bit like Councillor Cartwright. But this opportunity to give the youngsters another way of learning transferable skills for their CV for later in life is immeasurable. My concerns, hopefully the parking won't be an issue, and hopefully they will get the money to raise it themselves to get the building working.
Okay, that sounds fair. Oh, sorry. Councillor Evans first, and then
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I think what members have said is absolutely correct. This is an opportunity with risks. It's not straightforward. There are some risks associated with it. I think the parking, I agree, is unfortunate, but it's worthwhile living with. Y Services, the Chairman, do seem to have a knack of extracting money or getting hold of money to keep themselves going. So the opportunity is one that we should not ignore, and I think the risks are acceptable, at an acceptable level.
Yes, I think we are aware that there are risks involved with this proposal, but the recommendation does say that we won't be giving them the lease, until they have obtained the grant funding. I know they've lost the Veolia bid, but they do have bids in for two other organisations. So really they get the money, then we give them the lease, and it won't go the other way around. So I think in that respect we've done the best we can, but it does bring back a building that's just been sitting there all boarded up, looking dilapidated, and let's just keep our fingers crossed things go well.
Do you agree with the recommendation? Thank you.